Hello, hi boys and girls, how are you? How are you? Are you happy? Are you excited? Are you bored at home? How are you? I am at home, as you can see. Stay safe, stay home. And I am missing you so much and I can't wait to see you again. I'm counting the days to go back to work, go back to school and see you all and give you a big hug. And well, I have another story for you. It's also one of my favorite stories. It's called The Snail and the Whale. Do you know what a snail is? A snail and a whale. Snail, the creepy crawly, the little snails, and the whale, the big animal. So this is a story about friendship, about loyalty, about adventure, about love as well. And it just shows how every little, for as little as it is, every little helps. And this is a great example for what we are living right now, boys and girls, because if we each do our part, if we each do what we have to do to stay at home, we are helping everyone. We are helping others. We are helping the people in hospitals. We are helping the elders to get healthy again. And we're doing our little bit, our little part to help everyone. So this story shows how even if it's a very little animal like a snail, it can do a big thing for a huge animal like a whale. You will see why. I hope you like it. It's called The Snail and the Whale, and it's by Julia Donaldson and Axel Scheffler. I hope you like it.
The Snail and the Whale, written by Julia Donaldson. This is a tale of a tiny snail and a great big gray-blue humpback whale. This is a rock as black as soot, and this is a snail with an itchy foot. The sea snail slithered all over the rock and gazed at the sea and the ships in the dock. And as she gazed, she sniffed and sighed. The sea is deep and the world is wide. How I long to sail, said the tiny snail. These are the other snails in the flock, who all stuck tight to the smooth black rock, and said to the snail with the itchy foot, "Be quiet, don't wriggle, sit still, stay put." But the tiny sea snail sighed and sniffed, then cried, "I've got it, I'll hitch a lift." This is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail that looped and curled and said, "Lift wanted around the world." This is the whale who came one night when the tide was high and the stars were bright. A humpback whale, immensely long, who sang to the snail a wonderful song of shimmering eyes and coral caves and shooting stars and enormous waves. And this is the tale of the humpback whale. He held it out of the starlit sea and said to the snail, "Come sail with me." This is the sea, so wild and free, that carried the whale and the snail on his tail. Two towering icebergs and far-off lands, with fiery mountains and golden sands. These are the waves that arched and crashed, that foamed and frolicked and sprayed and splashed the tiny snail on the tail of the whale. These are the caves beneath the waves, where stripy fish with feathery fins and sharks with hideous toothy grins swam round the whale and the snail on his tail. This is the sky, so vast and high, sometimes sunny and blue and warm, sometimes filled with a thunderstorm, with zigzag lightning, flashing and frightening the tiny snail on the tail of the whale. And she gazed at the sky, the sea, the land, the waves and the caves and the golden sand. She gazed and gazed, amazed by it all, and she said to the whale, "I feel so small." But then came the day the whale lost his way. These are the speedboats running a race, zigging and zooming all over the place, upsetting the whale with their ear-splitting roar, making him swim too close to the shore. This is the tide slipping away, and this is the whale lying beached in a bay. "Quick, off the sand, back to sea," cried the snail. "I can't move on land, I am too big," moaned the whale. The snail felt helpless and terribly small. Then, "I've got it," she cried, and started to crawl. "I must not fail," said the tiny snail. This is the bell on the school in the bay, ringing the children in from their play. This is the teacher holding her chalk, telling the class, "Sit straight, don't talk." This is the board, as black as soot. And this is the snail with the itchy foot. "A snail, a snail!" The teacher turns pale. "Look," say the children, "it's leaving a trail." This is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail saying, "Save the whale." These are the children running from school, fetching the firemen, digging a pool, squirting and spraying to keep the whale cool. This is the tide coming into the bay, and these are the villagers shouting, "Hooray!" as the whale and the snail travel safely away. Back to the dock and the flock on the rock, who said, "How's time flown?" and "Haven't you grown?" And the whale and the snail told their wonderful tale of shimmering eyes and coral caves and shooting stars and enormous waves, and of how the snail, so small and frail, with her looping, curling, silvery trail, saved the life of the humpback whale. Then the humpback whale held out his tail, and on crawled snail after snail after snail. And they sang to the sea as they all set sail on the tail of the gray-blue humpback whale. The end.
So, what do you think? Did you like it? Yes? No? I love this story. I love stories about friendship and adventure and all the places the whale and the snail visited and all the adventures they went through together as friends, loyal friends. So it's definitely one of my favorite stories. And now let's answer some questions to see if you remember some things about the story, some details maybe. Yes, are you ready? Okay, see you now.
Who are the main characters in this story? Two snails, a whale and a snail, or a big blue whale? What did the snail want? Travel the world, learn how to swim, or visit some friends? Where does the whale live? In the ocean, in the mountains, or in the rainforest? What happened to the whale? She fell asleep, she got lost, or she wanted to visit the people. Who saved the whale? The students, the fireman, or the snail?
Well done, everyone. Well done for answering those questions. They were easy, but well done for doing it. And now it's time to make a drawing about this story. I can't wait to see your drawings. I really can't wait. I'm super excited about reading these books to you and hope they're helping you to cope with these difficult times that we have to stay at home. But at least we can do fun things, you know? We can learn new things, we can read stories, you can listen to new stories if you didn't know them before. And well, it just makes time go easier. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will be making more of these for you soon. Bye. Miss you guys.